This is IGN. Jorma Taccone remakes a Noomi Rapace domestic comedy thriller, for better and worse. This is your IGN review of Over Your Dead Body by Sadat Adlaka. In Jorma Taccone's bloody action comedy, Over Your Dead Body, Jason Segel and Samara Weaving play a married New York couple whose relationship is on the rocks. When the film begins, it seems like a quiet trip to the Catskills might solve their problems. When their tensions don't subside, it quickly turns out they both have secret plans to kill one another for life insurance. However, much like their secret schemes which soon go up in smoke, the movie ends up going pretty far off track, with repetitive, over-the-top set pieces and a tone that gets mean and uncomfortable when it ought to remain a delight. Written by Nick Kocher and Brian McElhaney of the online sketch group Britannic, Taccone's marriage satire is a nearly beat-for-beat remake of Tommy Wirkola's The Trip or In Bad Days, but it departs from the Norwegian original's bleakness with some overt broad comedy befitting the names involved. Taccone was, after all, half responsible for the modern comedy classic Pop Star Never Stop Stopping, and as a co-founder of The Lonely Island, he's no stranger to hilarity. It's for this reason that failing film director Dan, played by Segel, makes for such a fun, intriguing protagonist. We meet him as he curiously reminds friends and co-workers alike that he and stage actress wife Lisa, played by Weaving, are all set for their wilderness hike. This starts to seem more like the search for an alibi as he purchases suspicious tools like rope and duct tape. It's one of Segel's funnier roles, as well as one of his most dramatically fine-tuned, given the way he juggles exaggerated exhaustion with an inferiority complex supposedly brought on by constant spousal criticism. The laugh-out-loud gags are a wonderful addition, affording the rubber-faced Segel and the more straightforward Weaving numerous spats and tete-a-tetes, including a side-splitting bizarro version of the "I'll have what she's having" scene from When Harry Met Sally, swapping out fake orgasms for soap opera acting. When the couple are at each other's throats, at times literally, the unfettered stunt choreography imbues the remake with a raucous energy that wasn't present in Wirkola's version. However, where the original succeeded was in its snappy unspooling. The two films are comparable in length. In fact, the original is slightly longer, but its constant forward momentum left no time for the audience's attention to stray, or for them to ever question the premise. It's far more airtight in this regard, but the remake's dead air and vestigial dialogue provides too much room for a double take as to why Dan and Lisa seem to suddenly undergo a 180-degree character change so the rest of the plot can happen. Even if one were to forgive the occasional inconsistency, there are dramatic, comedic, and thematic holes which the remake's more gradual pacing fails to paper over. Where the original's protagonist was a Jewish man and the home invaders included a ruthless utilitarian and neo-Nazi, there are no such nerve-wracking dimensions in the Hollywood version. Its characters are interchangeable pieces. Timothy Olyphant and Juliette Lewis's characters, who were male friends in the original, are an oddball couple here, but this added subplot is never used to reflect or contrast Dan and Lisa's ongoing domestic drama, so it feels like dead weight. While the remake is undoubtedly funnier, it adds a handful of tonal elements that make for occasionally uncomfortable viewing. For one thing, the threat of sexual violence is treated as a malformed joke in this version rather than a serious threat. For another, the combo of its exaggerated carnage and the presence of a female villain means that Over Your Dead Body concocts a number of action beats where the entire punchline relies on the subversive surprise of a woman being on the receiving end of souped-up male viciousness. Intentional or not, this is unpleasant. While Over Your Dead Body lives in the same skin as the 2021 original, it departs just enough by way of tone to stake its claim as a wholly new film, more of a tribute than a remake. A tale of miserable spouses plotting each other's demise, it doesn't always work, but its action comedy stylings are enough to keep it entertaining, even when it swerves into ugly excess or extraneous subplots. Over Your Dead Body's IGN score? 6 out of 10. Thanks for listening to IGN. My name is Tony Jackson, and for the latest updates on Over Your Dead Body, visit us at IGN.com.
Spoken Layer.